Okay, this is a tougher topic. One that I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for, and whatever, like I give a shit. I want to start off with something basic here though, okay? So, does 1 + 1 = 2 in Canada? Yeah. United States? Yeah. Europe? Yeah. Australia? Yeah. Ireland? For sure. Okay. Does 1 + 1 = 2 if you are white or black or brown or Asian or anything else? Yeah. Okay, it does. Okay, fine. We have cleared that up. So when we count numbers and we look at statistics, those statistics would essentially be along the same lines of 1 + 1 = 2. Okay. So many years ago in here in Canada, the Aboriginal community was pushing the federal government to do an investigation because a lot of their young women were just kind of going missing, like vanishing up in smoke, and never coming back, kind of thing. And it was a big amount of them. And so the federal government did an investigation into it and found out, unfortunately, that most of these young women were living a high risk lifestyle in the in the sex industry. And and this is like the street corner days. So when you get in a car with some guy, God only knows where he could take you, right? So unfortunately, that was kind of what was happening. And then they pushed it a little bit further, and they were like, well, why are all of these young Aboriginal women living high-risk lifestyles? So they investigate that and study that and find out that predominantly their fathers or uncles or brothers or boyfriend got them addicted to some kind of a substance and then turned them out into sex workers. And then, again, they go missing, wherever, kind of thing. Okay, fine. Now, and the thing was, I actually had this happen in real life when I was a correctional peace officer at the Edmonton Remand Center, and I was working in our A&D department, and I had just searched this woman and then put her in the showers, and then I was going to search this other young woman, and she kind of flinched. I'm like, don't worry. I'm like, I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm not gonna hurt you. It's okay, right? And I could just see she was terrified. And then from the showers, we hear this, don't worry about it, sweetie. Once we get upstairs and get a bed, we'll get some sleep. It's okay. She's not going to hurt you. I was like, who's that? She's like, oh, that's my mother. I'm like, oh, that's your mother. Okay. Mother was 36, daughter was 18. So it's not just the men turning them out. Now, is it? Okay. But that's not what the Aboriginal community wanted to hear. What did they want to hear, everybody? They wanted to hear that it was the white man. The white man was, killing all their women. And the white man was assaulting all their women. And it had nothing to do with their own community or beliefs or standards or issues or anything. It was pass the buck away from us. It has to be not us, right? And then I don't even know how many times the Canadian government did that goddamn study for the results to come out the same. Okay. Now, in the United States, these similar things happened with the African American, in an African American study, because people were asking, why are African American men so predominant in our prison system and, in our prison populations and in gangs and this and that, or why are all these young men dying in the street, being shot, kind of thing. Okay, let's study that. And so they study it and find out predominantly a lot of these young African American men were raised by single moms who, their dads had off on them. So they didn't have a proper, guidance from a father. And so they looked for, something else, and they found crime. And had they had a father, probably wouldn't have worked out that way, right? But that wasn't what the African-American community wanted to hear, right? They wanted to hear it was the white man judge who, you know what I mean? Like, it was white judges and white law enforcement, charging these guys more. And when they would go in front of a judge, they would get 10 times the sentence that a white person would get. And do you know what I mean? Okay, so you guys, if you don't want to admit the truth to yourself, that's your problem. That's on you. because the truth goes on existing whether you like it or not, right? So, but when, I mean, the plus side of these things, you guys, is that when these studies are done, a lot of times we say, what do we say? You cannot solve a problem unless you know the root of the problem, right? So when we can say, well, African American young men are 60% more likely to get involved in gangs and crime and drugs and stuff like that if they have an absent father, okay? What can we do about that? Make it better or somehow help a father to be a father, maybe, or something like that? I don't know, you know? But it's just like people who say, well, you know, addiction, right? So many people, if you look at somebody who was an addict, and they have to go to rehab more than once or something to finally get clean. That's true, right? That's really true. In the statistics, the numbers say that. That's what they say. And no addict starts out wanting to be an addict, right? They try something, they really like it. They use it again, really like it again, and before you know it, they're addicted. Not every addict is some maggoty douchebag who doesn't want to have a good life. You know, they got addicted. You ever made a mistake? Have you ever made that mistake twice? Have you ever made it like third time is the charm and go, well, I really have to stop doing that then, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, we don't necessarily always learn on the first lesson, you know? Sometimes those lessons have to be harder taught. So, I mean, with this video today, you guys, I just want you to understand that the more you deny something doesn't mean it's not there. The more you want to push away the existence of something doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And you have to find a way to deal with that. Because the truth isn't always rosy. The truth isn't always a happy deal. The truth sucks sometimes, and actually most of the time it does. We would rather live in our comfortable delusion than our tough truth, our real truth. So I want to think about that and think about how, you know, you approach these kinds of things. If you're just pushing away everything because it's not what you want to hear, or if you finally need to say, okay, well, I guess it is this way. Now what do we do about it? Good luck to all of us with that. Ciao for now.